Today we're looking at the all-new BMW 3 Series. This is the gold standard, the benchmark in terms of entry-level, beautiful luxury sedans. A lot of other car companies try to catch up with the BMW 3 Series in terms of handling, dynamics, and performance, and just as they do, BMW comes out with an all-new car. This 3 Series is being sold initially as a 320i, 328i, and 335i, with X-Drive or all-wheel drive models coming hopefully by the fall of 2012, and the convertible and coupe models coming out in the early part of 2013. To make things even more confusing, BMW has added individual trim lines. You can get Sport, Modern, and Luxury. This is the luxury trim we're in here. The Sport gets the darker, moodier, racier looking interior. Modern gets a little bit more avant-garde look, and this luxury one gets the wood trim that brightens things up. Now the thing is, this is only available on the 328 and 335. The base 320 only sold in Canada, doesn't have these options. To go one step further, there's also the M Sport package, which allows you to get the modified suspension to make the car even sportier. What I have to point out first and foremost is the quality of materials that BMW uses. A lot would argue interiors like Audi and Jag have much greater looking design, but the materials in here are first rate. Lower part of the dash, this part and below, typically in a lot of cars, has a hard plastic that can scratch and scuff and doesn't look good a couple of years down the road. This car is fitted with a really nice soft touch material. BMW has been using this for years and it holds up well. It cleans up very easily. Some might say that this dash is a little bit basic. It is fitted with high quality materials. I do like the radio and heat controls here front and center. All of the things that you're going to use most often, radio and heat, are all push button. You can just dial those in, no problem. If you want to drill down even further, you can go into the big screen here and get involved more with the car. The iDrive is still as complex and overly complex, in my opinion, than it needs to be. Seating position is excellent. You get long seat bottoms, which give you excellent thigh support. You don't always get that with other luxury cars. Of course, you can go up and get the optional sport seats. Seating position is wonderful. The dials are a little bit small now here behind the steering wheel, but very functional. A big update for the backseat passengers is the extra legroom. We've got a longer wheelbase in this car now. The backseat goes from a car that you wouldn't want to sit in for a long period of time. And now because the backseat is bigger, there's more people that might be interested in buying this car. Here's something. This new 3 Series is almost the same size as the 5 Series from about 10 years ago, the E39 model. The wheelbase is only slightly shorter, overall dimensions about the same. So yes, if you think the 3 Series is getting bigger, it is. And it's really hard to distinguish this car from 10 or 15 paces because it looks so much like the new 5 Series, and that's good. It's got an aggressive front end with a deeper nose, sharper looking lines for the grille and the headlights, and accent lines that run along the side of the car, giving it an aggressive, mean looking stance that BMW owners appreciate. The model that we have here is called the 328i. This, in my opinion, will be the big volume seller. This car has a lot going for it and a lot of value. The biggest thing, an all-new motor. Under the hood, the biggest difference is the inclusion of a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. That's the base engine now. If you get it with the 320, which is only sold in Canada, not in the United States, the output is 181 horsepower. If you get this model, the 328, which will probably be the volume seller, you get 241 horsepower. That's the same engine that's used in the X1, the entry-level model, the 528, and also the Z4. This is a beauty. Now, a lot of diehards will say, well, what about an inline 6-cylinder? BMW is known for those. Well, there is still one available in the 335. It's carried over from the older model, still has 300 horsepower, but has been modified to get better efficiency. This 328i in Canada starts for just over $43,000, about $8,000 less than the 335, but it doesn't have a whole lot less performance. For example, the 335 makes a run to 100 kilometers an hour in 5.7 seconds. This 328 makes a run to 100 kilometers an hour in just 6.1 seconds. So it's only a half second between them, but you save $8,000. The thing is, this car feels light and nimble because it's got the 4-cylinder engine versus a big inline 6-cylinder. It's got a new 8-speed automatic that ekes out even more efficiency. You can still get a 6-speed manual if you want to row your own gears. There's also chassis settings that now come standard on this car. You can choose comfort, sport, or Eco, which makes the car much more efficient if you're really trying to stretch out the most efficiency. But this chassis really is wonderful because they have the ability with the tuning of the bushings now to give you ultimate comfort over bumpy roads. But then when you throw the car into the corners, it becomes very, very dependable, especially because it's got that perfect 50-50 weight distribution. It's a great car. It's bigger now. It's definitely more affordable to get the same kind of performance, and that's why the 328, I think, is going to be a huge seller for BMW because it's the gold standard.